ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਮਾਨਸਿਕ ਸਿਹਤ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਕਾਰਨ ਆਰਥਿਕ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਹੈ। 17% ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਰੈਂਟ ਜਾਂ ਮੌਰਗੇਜ ਦਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਨੇ, ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ 10% ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਫੂਡ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਕਾਰਨ ਚਿੰਤਤ ਨੇ। ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਰਗੇ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਡ ਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਜਿਹੇ ਹੈਰਾਨੀਜਨਕ ਅੰਕੜੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਉਣ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਰੈਡ ਐਫਐਮ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਟੀਆ ਫਰੀਲੈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਜਵਾਬ ਮੰਗਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਜਾਰੀ ਨੇ। My question to you, as you have addressed many concerns in your speech, Canadians are reporting poor mental health problem, and the major contributing factor is economic concern. 17% of Canadians are worried about their rent or mortgage, while 10% are worried about food security. Now, we have a population of just 41 million, and if 10% are worried about food security, what does it signify about Canada, how we are considering ourselves as a developed country?
Yeah, so a very important question. And it is a challenging time for Canada Canadians. Let me talk about a few things that we're working on that give me real confidence that the future is brighter. First thing is where I started. I think it's really, really important that we are seeing inflation stabilizing and interest rates coming down. Was it Parmeet?
Yes.
You talked about people concerned about their mortgages. Inflation rates starting to come down, that is central to all of those people. So that would be number one. Number two, you spoke more broadly about housing, about people concerned with rent. And that's where our focus is build, supply, particularly purpose-built rental. Because, look, people in Surrey, I think, know this as well as anybody in Canada. The good thing about Canada is we are a growing country. I think that is wonderful. But we have to be sure that the housing supply is keeping up with the population. That requires significant investments. We are doing it. It takes time to build homes. I think if a lot of people here are not home builders themselves, I bet a lot of your listeners and viewers are. But we are investing at pace. And there was actually very good news in May that housing starts in May were 10% higher in Canada than housing starts in April. And actually, of the three big provinces, Ontario, Quebec, BC, housing starts in BC are actually racing ahead. We're working closely with the province, really, really important. I'll just say two more things on that sort of economic concerns issue. Affordability is a challenge in people's lives. What are we doing about it? Getting your diabetes medicine for free, that helps with affordability. Having to pay, saving $6,600 per child per year on childcare, that helps with affordability. Parm and I earlier today were at an announcement of a national school food program. That's going to cover 400,000 more kids in Canada. For a family that has 2 kids, that's going to mean a savings of $800 a year. That helps with affordability. So there are a number of programs like that in place. And then the final thing I'll say, which Pam whispered to me, and that's okay, I really agree with this, is the single most important thing to have a good life, I believe, is to have a good job and to live in a place where the economy is growing. Canada today has 1.3 million more people working than before COVID hit. I know a lot of you cover the economy, and we know a lot of people said, oh, there's going to be a recession. It's going to be really terrible. And that's a lot of economists feared that. But the IMF published a report last week on the Canadian economy, and they said Canada has an excellent fiscal position, and that Canada was likely to achieve a soft landing.
Just to add to that, the measures that the minister just told about, the child care cost reductions, the Canada Child Benefit, has actually, in data, women in participation in the labour workforce has increased in the record amount that Canada has ever seen. The parity between men and women has got very close, and we're achieving almost parity in that respect. Poverty rate has dropped. 2.4 million people have come out of poverty, including hundreds of thousands of young children, and we're making sure that they're safeguarded with these food programs as well. Just one minute. I have the next question.
ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਫ੍ਰੀਲੈਂਡ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਾਊਸਿੰਗ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ, ਉੱਚੀਆਂ ਵਿਆਜ ਦਰਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਮਹਿੰਗਾਈ ਨਾਲ ਨਜਿੱਠਣਾ ਜਾਰੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਰੋਜ਼ਗਾਰ ਦੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਮੌਕੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਤਮ ਨਿਰਭਰ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਪਰ ਸਵਾਲ ਇਹ ਉੱਠਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਲਏ ਗਏ ਇਹ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਧਾਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਰੈਡ FM ਲਈ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਪਰਮੀਤ ਕਾਮਰਾ।